Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fellow members of the PBC, colleagues, friends, Assalamu alaikum. What a wonderful day it has been, very productive, long day, and it's also a day when we will be celebrating the 20 years of PBC founding. So in a way it's an auspicious occasion, and at a time like this, when we are celebrating 20 years, it's a good time to look back and revisit our vision, our mission, our purpose, and just look at how far we have come, and then have a brief peep into what the future may hold for us. We have many new members from the time when we started PBC. We started with 14 members, and now we are 100. And so I thought many newcomers may not know how it was started, what was its genesis. So I just give you a brief idea of how it happened. There was a dinner at the Sheraton Hotel for some dignitary, and myself and a few business people, all manufacturers, were sitting on a corner in the Sheraton, and then we started talking, and the topic moved to, are the chambers and the federation and the association, do they really represent us? By us, we felt manufacturers. By us, we meant the formal sector. And we all came to the conclusion they don't really help us. They're more for the informal sector, they're more for traders rather than manufacturers. So at the end of the dinner, we said, why don't we meet again and take this matter further? So we said, okay, let's meet again. So on the 22nd of September 2004, we met in the Anglo office in Karachi, and 9 of us sat and we started to discuss. Okay, well, if we want to do it, what are the issues? So we talked about what was the objectives, what is our philosophy, what do we want to do, what is our purpose, what's our mission. And then somebody said, but then what type of a form do we want? Do we want to be in the Societies Act or under the Section 42? And then somebody said, what are the various criteria for asking members? So what are the criteria for joining whatever we form? So we formed some committees, and over a year we started deliberating all aspects of the legal structure, joining structure, vision, what are our objectives. And I want to add that during this process, we got everybody to come and give their views. Sayyid Babar Ali came, the late Razak came, we had Mansha, we had Tariq Saigo, we had Yawar Ali. Everybody who wanted to give their views were invited to come. Whether they would become members or not, that was a later issue. They were invited. And so after a whole host of deliberations, we were able to go to the government. I myself went to the government with Asad Umar and a few other members to the, he's here now, good. We went to Islamabad and went to the SECP, explained to them what our vision was. They were quite happy about it. The only point they raised said, it looks like it's going to be a big boys club. So we said, well, we don't have to be, but at the moment, that's the way it's looking. So on the 18th of August 2005, we got the certificate of incorporation and PBC was formed. And when it was formed, because I was involved deeply right from the beginning, they asked if I would be the first chairman, so I said fine. And then we started working. We got ourselves our first CEO, Razak, the ex-governor. He came forward and he became the first CEO. And since then, from 14 members, we're now at 100 members. 40% of the exports of Pakistan is through the PBC members. 33% of all direct taxes are paid by the PBC members. And finally, the PBC members have 3 million employees in all their so it is a reasonable force now, and the question comes, how are we different today from the federation, from the chambers, and from the associations? Fellow members, a fundamental premise was that we would not support any member's individual case. We would not even support the case for a particular sector. Once we got going, the textile sector came to us. Why don't you push our case? We said no. Individuals, we said no. We will not do that. That the PBC platform must work and have the vision of the country in mind. We cannot just look at the good of any individual. I want to thank all the chairmen right from the beginning and the CEOs. You're the fourth. Javed has just joined us. And we've had several chairmen. And I would like to just identify 2 chairmen, because they did one particular thing during their tenure, which I've always felt was putting the foundation correct of the Pakistan Business Council. One was Ali Habib. When he was the chairman, he himself was put under personal attack on a case involving the Habib family, the Habib, one of the Habib companies. And never once did Ali Habib, the late Ali Habib, ever use the forum of Pakistan Business Council to help himself. So he stood by those very principles on which the PBC was based. The other gentleman, other chairman was Asad Umar. Asad Umar, during his tenureship, using his remarkable skills, he got all the political parties together in Islamabad, all of them, and try to put a framework that let's all agree on a certain framework, which people are now talking about, the Charter of Economy. So we got them all together, and to make it look equal, we had the high table, and honestly, it was the longest high table I have ever seen, because every political party, one member, two members, whatever it is, they wanted a seat on the high table, so we gave it. And it was all orchestrated by Asad. Thank you very much, Asad. That was something that I've always cherished and felt that that was a great thing. So, as a result of us doing and behaving the way we have, and another thing that we set about right from the beginning, that our approach to the government would always be based on studies, research. It's got to be sound. There's got to be sound reasoning, not just a few people getting together and saying, "Ye manglo." That was not our modus operandi. Because of this, our reputation has been built, and PBC is now a brand. And the testimony to this is that right now, these days, the government of Pakistan, the Prime Minister, has formed 8 working groups to advise the government, and most of the chairmen are members of the PBC. We have chairmen and we have members of the PBC who are on these committees. So it shows the value that the government is putting on us, and it is a big responsibility on all of us that we stick to our ethos, our premise that we would give the government advice based on research and based on good for all. The other difference that became quite apparent in the first few years between us and the federations and the chambers was that we never thought of a chairman hanging on for another term and another term. No. You complete your term, off you go. In comes the vice chairman, and when the chairman goes, the vice chairman becomes the chairman. And it's a sequence that is going on, and unlike the chambers, we have a professional. We've always had a professional CEO. All of them have been professionals, and that is a wonderful thing. And obviously, alhamdulillah, in the PBC, there is no groupings. People come, we have our elections, and off it goes. So, fellow members, how have we done? I think we've achieved a lot. But as we all know from the companies that we all handle, there is always room for more. We could have done more, and certainly we could have done more. Also, we know that Pakistan does not have the best environment, and many times our principles like a freer economy, trade with India, wider tax net do clash with government's own ideas. So we know we're not in the best of environment, but that is the PBC. We'll be at it all the time, giving the best professional advice to the government. So, fellow members, let's look to the future. To me, it is absolutely essential that we must remain committed to our fundamental principles, particularly now that we have many younger members that are coming in onto the board, that they must follow and enshrine those principles that we have based the council on, that they must live by that. Also, whenever tensions come up, to make sure that we handle them professionally, we have now decided, the board has decided, that we would have a council of elders. That council of elders is based on all the previous past chairmen. They come in and they become members of the council of elders. And that is, we're not taking any authority away from the board. The board of the PBC and the board members have all their powers. The only thing we're saying is, if there is differences, you can have another platform to discuss and see if we can resolve if there are any issues. Alhamdulillah, up to now, there has never been an issue. So we do meet, but there's never really been an issue. So where do we go from here? We have to certainly increase our membership. We have to get our reach inside Pakistan and internationally far greater than what we have. We want to have a much greater impact than we have achieved in the past. But to do that, obviously we'll need funds. So I'm appealing to the board and the CEO, you have to find ways and means of becoming sustainable. If we are to support the SME sector, if we are to do whatever ideas the board thinks of, sustainability in the long run is important. Alhamdulillah, we're okay, we have no issues, but as our reach goes, that reach will increase our costs, we've got to find ways and means of making sure that we are sustainable. And so sustainability will be a major thing in the future. Because when PBC puts something behind some activity, we must remember we are not funding moments, we are funding a journey. It's not an event that we're funding if we look at the SMEs. It's a journey with the SMEs to whatever we need, what we think we can help, how we can help them. And in the years to come, we have to evolve. The biggest challenge for all of us is, in the future, we must become an institution to last from generation to generation. We are today 20 years old. In 5 years, the first generation, the first cycle has taken place. We will be moving into the next generation, and then it won't be long before the next generation comes. So we have to make it an institution built to last from generation to generation. And if the newcomers can outsmart, outshine what we old-timers have done, we will have a great institution. And that is really the challenge before all the newcomers. The PBC, if it evolves the way I'm talking about, we will seek the greater good for all, everybody in Pakistan. And then the PBC, if it does these things, then the PBC will make the impossible possible. I honestly believe that we're in the making of a great institution. And may Allah bless all members and the institution itself. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Chairman Zilaf, the Vice Chairman Ziad, the CEO for organizing this fabulous session. We had a wonderful day, and let's have another great day tomorrow. Thank you for listening to me.